Good evening, Warriors Nation. Tonight, we dive into one of the most electrifying performances of the postseason, a battle of grit, a tale of redemption, and the unexpected rise of unsung heroes. As the Golden State Warriors take a commanding 3-1 series lead over the Houston Rockets, one storyline burns brighter than the rest: the return of Jimmy Butler and the courage of those who rose in his shadow. Now, let's rewind the tape. The stage was set in Houston. The air? Thick with tension. The Rockets, young and hungry, were not going to lie down. They had stolen Game 2. They had bruised Golden State in the paint. They had bullied the wings and tightened the screws in their zone defense like a steel trap. Game 4 began like a movie script with a plot twist you never saw coming. The Warriors, battered and criticized for their lack of depth, came out firing. In the opening minutes, it was Buddy Hield, yes, Buddy, who set the tone with a deep triple, then a lightning-quick steal, and another score in transition. Golden State opened with a fiery 12-4 run, and the Rockets were rattled. But Houston is no stranger to ugly, physical basketball. They clawed their way back in the second quarter behind the relentless Fred VanVleet. 8 3-pointers. You heard that right, 8. VanVleet was a man possessed, slicing through Golden State's defense like a hot knife through butter. Yet, even with his heroics, Houston faltered where it counted most, the free throw line. Shooting just around 50% from the charity stripe, the Rockets left over 10 points on the table. In the playoffs, that's not just a stat. That's a death sentence. Steph Curry. The silent assassin was unusually muted. Houston's defense threw a tight zone at him, suffocating, relentless, limiting him to just 12 shot attempts all night. The quick turnaround with only one day's rest didn't help either. But if there's one thing we've learned about Curry, it's that he doesn't need 30 points to win. He just needs a moment, and he'll bide his time. But let's talk about the real surprise of the night. Brandon Podziemski. The rookie-turned-revelation played the game of his life, dropping 25 points, several of them in clutch moments. His defense? Smothering. His energy? Relentless. His block on VanVleet in the fourth quarter? Legendary. You could feel the shift in the building. One moment, the Rockets were closing in. The next, Podziemski was there, stripping the ball, making the right pass, draining the corner three. This wasn't just a hot game, it was a career night, and Steve Kerr's faith in him had never looked smarter. Speaking of Kerr, the man has taken his fair share of heat this season. Fans have questioned his rotations, his trust in veterans, his hesitation with younger talent. But in Game 4, his instincts were pure gold. He stuck with Buddy Hield and Podziemski in key stretches. He rolled out a small ball lineup that forced Houston to adjust, then implemented the infamous Hack Adams strategy to slow the game and gain control. Sure, some fans grumbled about the lack of minutes for Jonathan Kuminga. And yes, Moses Moody struggled mightily on both ends of the floor. But in the fog of war, Kerr played the pieces that were working, and they delivered. Now let's talk about the chaos, and the calm after it. Draymond Green. Forever walking the tightrope between genius and madness. He picked up a technical early in the third and a flagrant shortly after. The crowd roared. The Rockets flexed. And for a brief moment, it looked like the Warriors might unravel. But Draymond didn't crumble. He channeled the storm. His rebounding in the final 5 minutes, his physicality under the rim, his communication on defense, all vintage Draymond. He didn't just keep the team together. He willed them through the fire. And then, came Jimmy Butler. We all knew he was coming. After being sidelined and nursing injuries, the whispers began: is Jimmy done? Is he still playoff Jimmy? On this night, he answered with action, not words. Every foul from Dillon Brooks, every shove, every trash talk quip, Butler soaked it up like gasoline. And when it was time to ignite, he did so with surgical precision. Jimmy shot a perfect 12 for 12 from the free throw line. He didn't try to be flashy. He didn't force shots. He simply made the right play, over, and over, and over. Defense. Mid-range pull-ups. Drawing contact. Getting in Brooks' head. His veteran poise calmed the storm during the second-half surge from Houston. Jimmy didn't just return. He reclaimed the stage. By the final whistle, Golden State had survived the storm. The scoreboard read Warriors 109, Rockets 102, a 7-point win that felt like a 20-point psychological blow. The series now stands at 3-1, and the Warriors are one win away from moving on. But don't let the numbers fool you. This game was a war of attrition, one fought possession by possession. And it was the veterans, Butler, Green, Curry, who steadied the ship when the waters got rough. It was the new blood, Hield and Podziemski, who surprised the world and brought the spark. Now, what does this mean heading into Game 5? First, let's talk health. Jimmy Butler looked great, but he played through pain. The team will be monitoring his ankle closely. Kerr acknowledged post-game that Butler gutted it out, and while he's expected to suit up in Game 5, there's always concern when you ask a player to do that night after night. Then there's Houston. Don't count them out. They're young, aggressive, and fearless. VanVleet's performance proved that when they catch fire, they're lethal. But their Achilles heel, free throws, could be their undoing if not corrected immediately. Golden State, meanwhile, seems to have a new strategy. Instead of blowing teams out, they're keeping it close. They're relying on discipline, experience, and late-game execution. It's risky. It's tense. But it's working. If the Warriors can steal Game 5, this series wraps with a gentleman's sweep, 4-1, and the conversation around this team will change dramatically. No longer just the old dynasty. No longer past their prime. This Game 4 was a declaration. A reminder. They're not done yet. So to every fan who wrote them off. To every analyst who said Jimmy was washed. To every skeptic who said Steve Kerr had lost the locker room. Tonight, the Warriors answered loud and clear. The veterans still have fire. The rookies have heart. The coach has a plan. And Jimmy Butler? He has unfinished business. Game 5 looms large. Will Golden State finish the job? Will Houston respond with one last punch? One thing's for certain, the Warriors believe. And after Game 4, so should we. This series just turned from hopeful to historic. And Warriors Nation? The best may be yet to come. And here's a tip from the Fan Golden State Warriors channel: study financial education and have opportunities in the financial market by studying REITs and investing in large brokerages around the world.